The progressive left has aligned itself not with modernity but with postmodernism. Now, this is an exaggeration. This article is exaggerating. The progressive left is responsible for most of many of the values from in modernity, right? The progressive left is responsible for gay rights, women rights, minority rights, defending the science, uh, like you name it. The progressive left has been defending it. I mean, what does the right has been like from the Enlightenment values? The only things that the right has been defending is like, I mean, even now less than before, but at least pretends to defend is free markets and maybe free speech. But even then, they actually pretend that they're doing that and they're not. So, yeah, the progressive left has been very good relatively. This whole postmodernism, again, the wokeism, we here attack wokeism at Atheist Republic. But this, by the way, wokeism is like I understand that using postmodernism and wokeism interchangeably is not the right thing to do. Wokeism is something that took a lot of ideas from postmodernism and made a weapon out of it selectively. So I know they're not the same thing. But again, this is in reference to postmodern ideas being, if you say postmodern ideas being used in progressive left, then you're referring to critical race theory and wokeism, right? So if that's what you're talking about, no, they haven't taken over the progressive left. They're a very loud minority, okay? But they haven't taken over. Let me see. Yes, individual action. Actually, you're right. Also, because when Idris was mentioning nationalism, that is pretty much could be seen as in contradiction with individualism, which is what we value under Enlightenment values. So Idris, that's another counter to what you were saying. Exactly. Hossein also is saying nationalism is the opposite of Enlightenment values. Well, it depends, guys. Like, nationalism depends on what you mean by nationalism. So Hossein and Afshin, you guys are right, but the nation state is objectively one of the best methods of running any geographical, like, when it comes to, if by nationalism you mean considering a nation and its people superior to others just because they happen to be at this geographic area, then that's moronic. But if by nationalism you mean that you're defending the structure of a nation state, and you understand that you need to have, for the sake of management, you need to have, I don't know, like it makes sense to have a nation state. Like, you're not for just abandoning borders and not having people select a government that represents this people at this area. Like, I think that's called like civic nationalism. If that's what you mean, I mean that's the idea of of having a nation state is part of modernity. Like, that structure, that idea, is also a modern idea. So in that sense, you could say maybe nationalism is not part of Enlightenment values, but the nation states and that political model is part of modernity, right? Yes, yeah, Katie nails it. Yes, Katie, you nails it. I don't. Yeah, so you guys are all right. The reason why I was hesitant to call it nationalism was because I thought, like, does that mean? Yeah, Katie is saying I don't think the idea of having a nation state is called nationalism, though. Yeah, Katie, you're right. You're right. Thank you so much. That's very, very, yeah. All right. But yeah, so I think this is a major exaggeration, though. Why you guys? I don't understand what you guys say. Okay, all right. What, did we read this? The progressive left has aligned itself not with modernity but with postmodernism. I mean, imagine thinking that. Imagine like looking at the past 100 years and all the main movements that like promoted individualism and science and everything came out of the left, right? And you're just looking at, like, you ignoring the past 100 years And now, you look at the past, I don't know what, 5 or 10 years, and things have gone a little bit crazy, and you're saying, oh yeah, progressive left has not aligned itself with modernity. Like, really? Like, the greatest civil rights movement of the past 100 years has come out of the progressive left. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This is such an unfair representation of history, which rejects objective truth and a fantasy dreamed by naive and or arrogantly bigoted Enlightenment thinkers who underestimated the collateral consequences of modernity's progress. Wait, what is this? What is it saying? Which rejects objective truth as fantasy dreamed up by naive. Oh, I think this is like, guys, so this is not what James Lindsay is saying in this article. This is what he's saying the progressive left thinks of Enlightenment thinkers, which rejects belief truth as fantasy dreamed up. Yeah. So apparently the progressive left think that they think objective truth, they deny objective truth. Yeah, it's so unfair. This is so unfair. Guys, this is why you need to be, you need to be careful with what you read at all times. Just because you see like a smart guy writing an article like this, you can't just accept everything, right? Like, you are the progressive left as a whole is being accused of rejecting objective truth, like as an objective truth not being a thing. The part, like, we have science deniers on both sides, but come on, who are the people that are denying global warming and vaccine and science and evolution and promote creationism? Is that the progressive left? That's the right. They reject objective truth. You have most of the religious people are on the right. Yes, the wokey people also deny objective truth, but come on, if it comes to which side rejects objective truth more, I would say it's the right. Ronald is saying to call it the progressive left is begging the question already. Idris is saying, thanks for the feedback. What I meant to say was Enlightenment values, if enables nationalism and the world wars, even though opposite to it, may be considered harmful. Just exploring though. Yes, that's a very good thing to explore, but you could technically say that about, again, Yahtzee ideology took its, I want to call it, I want to say theories, but it's too charitable to call them theories, but took their BS ideas, they took them from evolution, right? So we don't want to, just because somebody takes a good idea and twists it in their own dark and harmful way, that doesn't mean that we should deny how good those original ideas were, right? Yeah, imagine if we say like, ooh, look at what happened in Germany in World War II. Let's stop teaching evolution. Okay, the regressive right. Okay, hold on. Okay, so this is, let's be charitable to this article. Maybe this charitable is less biased than we think it is. The regressive right champions pre-modernism instead, which is little more than a grand delusion that the intricate complexities of modern society can function without the elaborate infrastructure required to run a modern society in the first place. Wait, what? The regressive right champions pre-modernism, which is little more than a grand delusion that the intricate complexities of modern society can function without the elaborate infrastructure required to run. Wait, do they? How? No. Both are outright rejections of the Enlightenment's commitment to truth. I don't understand. The regressive right champions pre-modernism, which is little more than a grand delusion that the intricate complexities of modern society can function without the elaborate infrastructure required to run a Who says that? No, they don't say that. Where are these right-wing people that are saying, like, oh, we don't need intricate complexities of modern society? This is what? This is what happens when you keep focusing on how bad the left is and you don't actually spend the time to learn how bad the right is. Where are the right-wing people that are like, yes, I think that modern society can function without intricate complexities of modern society? What? Who says this? First of all, this whole sentence is way too long. This sentence should be cut into pieces. Like, look at this. It's like half a paragraph. Maybe when you're trying to say something that means nothing, it's better to make it in one large sentence so that people can think like this whole sentence doesn't say anything. Guys, the actual problem with the regressive right is that they also deny objective truth, and they're religious morons that do anti-scientism, that, like, everything you said about the progressive left, that's what this, yeah. And they also think, like, they deny that the values that made the Western countries better, they deny that it came from Enlightenment thinkers because they considered them a bunch of atheist heathens. They're like, it's Judeo-Christian. It's because of Judeo-Christian values. So they also deny. Okay, so I will rewrite this paragraph. I would say, like, whatever you said about the progressive left, I would say the same thing about the regressive right, okay? The regressive right has aligned itself not. Okay, I will be more charitable and say not all, but a loud, influential portion of the regressive right has aligned itself not with modernity, but with pre-modernism, which rejects objective truth, exactly like that, as a fantasy dreamed up by naive and arrogantly, not bigoted, arrogantly atheistic, I would say, enlightenment, like non-religious, maybe not all atheistic, but they would say atheistic. Well, let's be charitable. Non-religious enlightenment thinkers who underestimated the influence of God and Jesus and judo and the Bible and Judeo-Christian values of modernity's progress. There you go. I fixed your paragraph for you. Let me see what you guys are saying. Afshin is saying maybe they mean hardcore libertarians. Hardcore libertarians believe in intricate complexities of modern societies. Who doesn't? Where are these people who are like, yes, I don't believe in the intricate complexities of modern societies. Yes, we don't need that. Who says this? Is this like a thing? Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I just don't understand what he's trying to say. Jose is saying, I think this is some vague reference to defund the police movements. No, this is about the right. I think it's just criticism on the right is more vague because he doesn't understand how destructive the right is. Ronald saying, a comedian once said, we evolved from a single cell-based organism to a thinking, space-exploring species when our political stances evolved to be either left or right. And also subscribe to our newsletter, because if we get removed from all these platforms, at least we could reach out to you. And guys, by the way, if you subscribe to our newsletter, you get a free copy. Where's your copy, Susanna? Get it. We're doing promotion. You get a free. It's not even promotion. It's free. Okay, so if you subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description, you get a free copy of Why There's No God. Come on, like, I'm handing it out for free. Okay, it's a bestseller on Amazon, and you get it for free. So subscribe to our newsletter, and you get a free copy of Why There's No God sent to you. Link in the description.